Hey, this is Jeff with Command Performance AV. Today we'll be setting up an Acoustic Signature TA-1000 tone arm. Acoustic Signature has a variety of tone arms, starting at very affordable prices up to not crazy by today's standard prices. The TA-1000 is one step up from the entry level and really a good fit for the first 2, 3, 4 turntables in their line. In a previous video, we set up a Maximus turntable, and today we'll be installing that tone arm. When we ordered the turntable from the importer, we chose for it to come with a SME mount. You can also have a Rega mount here. So this cutout here and these screws show that it's a SME mount, and the reason we chose that is we decided to match up the Acoustic Signature T1000 9-inch tone arm, which is a nice match for this table. So what we're going to do is open this up after we take out the screws, and then we'll put her on. So now we're going to open up our tone arm box. Just in case you didn't know, it is made in Germany. So let's see what we got here. We have our instruction manual. First thing we get inside here is our top level of foam, and kind of cool that they etched inside the foam. And now let's take a look at what we have tone arm wise. This is quite an attractive tone arm. As we know, we got the SME mount here. Our counterweights are here. They've packaged it really carefully, so there's not going to be any damage in shipping. All right, let's take the main tone arm assembly out of the box. Get a little protector here. And starting at the top, I like the wires. Much more sturdy than a lot of products out there. I don't feel like I'm going to tear these apart. Like a few other manufacturers do, the head shell adjustment, one screw up top, black arm tube with brushed aluminum on the back, kind of nice two-tone look. Comes with the SME base to go on the turntable, tone arm lift, and I think we'll start getting ready to set this up, but let's see what else is in the box. Next level down, we have our setup tools. Part of our setup jig, and then underneath it is the jig for setup. So let's get to adjusting our tone arm. To do our setup more easily, we're going to remove the primary part of the tone arm from the mount. There is a locking mechanism here. You could use their wrenches. I have mine here. We're going to loosen that up. It doesn't take much, just to give it a little slack, and then we can remove the base, so we can set that appropriately on the table. Now that we have the tone arm off, we're going to take the collar and the bottom plate and attach it to this arm base here. Here's a tip. Make sure that this bolt is on the outside and facing backwards. It will still work this way, it's just a lot harder to adjust. So just make sure this is to the back side. It will save you a lot of aggravation. So I'm going to put that down for a minute. I'm going to put a screw in, line it up with the first hole. Do just a little finger tightening there to make sure it's in. I'm going to do the opposite corner. It's black, so I can't see it, so I'm going to lift it up. And now I'm going to snug these up. Now I'm going to tighten them, but just firmly. I'm not going to put too much torque on these. I like my wrenches, but theirs are great, and because theirs are shorter, it's harder to over torque, which is an important thing. Just to save time, we've already installed the cartridge here. This is not a cartridge setup video. We'll do one of those later. So the next thing is we want to get the anti-skate assembly attached, which is this tower. There's a set screw at the bottom. So we're going to take it with this to the outside and attach the bolt underneath it. Okay, I'm going to put this underneath the slot. Do the rough adjustment from the top because it's a lot easier. But now I want to get ready to get it in the correct alignment. That I'm going to do down here. And I'm going to put our Tonearm wire up through the base before we put the Tonearm on. Standard DIN connection. Line up our pins. Firm in there. Pull this down through. And we'll get our Tonearm in the slot. And we're not worried about the height yet. We just want to make sure it's in there correctly. Next, we're going to set the pivot to spindle distance. For this particular Tonearm, it's 222 millimeters. To do that, we need to loosen the bolts on either side. I already pre-loosened that one since it's hard to get to from here. And now we can slide it along the track. What's really nice is Acoustic Signature has made it a jig for you to make this an easy process. It's a two-step piece. This part goes down over your spindle. This goes over the two pegs here, and then there's a little neat point here that goes right into the center point here. So really well thought out. So let's see where we can do here. I'm going to slide this over, and we're going to go along the track until this lines up. And when it does, it kind of just snaps into place like that. Next, we're going to install the anti-skate mechanism. So it's a cap with a weight in it. So we put this in here. We want to make sure we don't trap the wire. So you're saying, hey, well, it touches the bottom, but that's okay, because once we come over and attach it to the correct spot here, you'll see that it won't touch anymore. And we'll determine that based upon the tracking force that we'll set with the cartridge. Next, we're going to add the counterweight. We're going to take off this protective piece of paper. And there's actually a main weight and a secondary weight that can be screwed together for our heavy cartridge. I'm going to start and see if for our Ortofon Quintet Black, if the single weight will work okay. So it's a threaded mechanism, so we'll just screw this on here. And right now we're just looking for an approximate weight. What we want to do is balance out the Tonearm, which means if we take this Tonearm here and set it out here, we just want it to float in the air. Since it's going back so far, we got way too much weight on it. Get a little better. Almost. And we'll use a scale for the rest of it. So that's actually not bad. So I do not need the extra weight, so I will put that away. And next we'll set the height of the Tonearm. So we're going to raise the Tonearm up to the approximate height, just like we did the weight. This is again just an approximation. But we can see here that's way too low. So again, this is loose because our set screw on the side has not been tightened yet. And I just want to get it so once it will drop. In approximate place. So I'm just going to take this, and now I'm going to tighten my set screw here. And one thing I do want to make sure of is that in this position, the arm can go all the way in and out. And again, I'm going to tighten it. It's a turntable, so it's just going to be snug, but not too tight. And get the adjust here. And there we go. So that's this step. We then do our fine adjustments, which we're not going to go over here. Once we got our proper height and tracking force, we will then attach the anti-skate. And again, that is based upon what cartridge you use. Follow the cartridge manufacturer's instructions. And our last step is to attach the power. A little unique approach here. As opposed to a barrel plug, they're using an Ethernet connector. The connection is in the back here. So we'll just take this, get that good snap, put our power cord into the end, and we are ready to run. Well, thanks for watching us set up this great turntable. We're looking forward to running it in and enjoying listening to some vinyl on it. And we hope you liked this setup video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and join our channel, and please leave some comments. Thanks again for watching.